Hello, just a quick one for me to try and explain the video a little bit. So basically this is an overnight stay vlog as always, but 2 games. Basically went to Palace away, did overnight stay vlog. The match was just that bad. I felt like for the sake of you guys, we're going to postpone it until the Brentford game. Yeah, just forget about what happened in the matches. Of course, about the travel and about my experience as a Newcastle United fan. And it's the worst. It's the worst I've ever had in the UK. It's been a nightmare. We'll show you why in this video. We'll show you how bad things actually get. It wasn't good. So for your entertainment and for you, I guess, to enjoy my displeasure, I do it so you don't have to, is perhaps the message and moral of the story. Enjoy it though. Wish you all the best and I appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone that has sent me a birthday message yesterday. Thank you very much and enjoy the video. The time is currently just past 12 o'clock on the Friday, well, afternoon now on the Friday. And it's that point of the season where the next month or so is horrible for any football fan. And not just any football fan, when you pinpoint Newcastle United. Already this season in the Premier League, it is the longest distance ever for any set of football fans to travel. All 19 games, Newcastle got to go quite literally everywhere in the country, and our closest derby, I guess, is Manchester City. I mean, how is that our closest away game? Manchester City is our closest away game. But going this month, it's a nightmare. So I'm heading down to London today, of course, for the Crystal Palace game. Then I come home. Then next week, I'm back in London for the Brentford game. Then I come back home. Then we go to Ipswich, which is even further than London. Then I come back home for Christmas. Then we go away to Manchester. Then we come back home again. And I'm after Manchester. I'm not sure what away game is after Manchester now. I think it's Tottenham, if I remember correctly. So back to London again. And that's just for the next 4 or 5 weeks, which is just mad. Now, as for this particular trip to Crystal Palace, you will know by now my preferences and my opinions, I guess, on Palace as an away ground and also as Croydon as an area. Can't stand either of them. So it's my least favourite away game in the Premier League. I honestly think Crystal Palace is the worst away game in the Premier League, in my personal opinion. A lot of people don't like Goodison Park. Well, 1, everything's close. 2, Goodison Park's moving, and 3, I don't actually think Goodison Park's that bad. I think it's alright. But yeah, Palace by far, in my opinion, the worst away ground. I can't stand it. As for the trains now, because we're currently heading across to the train station. King's Cross is off this weekend. Saturday and Sunday the trains are off at King Cross station. Just that station is off. Now, Crystal Palace had a story about this before. Actually, when they had Brighton and the derby, of course, in the south coast, they actually called the game off. They just postponed the game because the trains were off. I mean, I wish I could do that for us, but nah, it didn't happen for us. But it's magic happening at derby. So what are we doing instead? I had a few choices there. So personally, what I'm doing is I'm still getting the train, but I'm not getting it the King's Cross route. So basically, I'm doing the longer route. So I'm getting on I'll be on a cross country over the fort down to Birmingham. Then we're going to switch there a West Midlands train to Milton Keynes. We're staying in Milton Keynes now. Honestly, it's a hidden gem, Milton Keynes. It's the place I always tend to stay at whenever I'm in a bit of a pickle, whenever there's something going on in terms of trains, or something going on in terms of, I mean, this country at this point, because it's been a mental few weeks, but I always stay in Milton Keynes. But I mean, even the last couple of weeks, trains have been a nightmare. The weather's been a nightmare. Last week I was down in London for the Continental Awards, had to come back a day early on the train due to the fact that major storms in the country made trains a nightmare. King's Cross 2 days ago, this is before the engineering works which is taking place this weekend. 2 days ago, emergency. In the morning, they've got to evacuate the entire train station. Now, you guys ever been to King's Cross before? Oh no, evacuating that entire station is mad. There's so many people in there. This week, engineering works, and that's not to mention the fact that, of course, we have train strikes in this country as well. So it is a nightmare. The prices are a nightmare. £110 return just on the train. Of course, 2 nights hotel as well. So that's a £200 to £250 trip just for one away match. So yeah, not cheap. But it's what we do for Newcastle. It's what we do for the boys. It's what we do for this football club. And I think in terms of what I want to do, address there's quite a lot to talk about there in the video. But that's the bulk of it. Trains or engineering works this weekend in King's Cross. So Newcastle fans physically can't get the train unless you do my route when you go around the entire country, or you get off at Peterborough and then get a coach from there. But for me, a couple of days down south will I either get a run done or we'll have a few hours in the gym, and then we're going to get everything sorted out content wise. So yeah, a lot to get into. Appreciate you listening to me for all those minutes there. We're going to get on the train now. We're going to head down to Milton Keynes. It is 4.5 hours as well. Ooh. Yeah, let's start now, and let's just hopefully we'll have a smooth experience today. Oh my god, it's I don't believe it. Actually sitting down.
Oh, sorry.
This is going to be a good hour.
This is a platform alteration. The 1727 Atlantic West Coast Service.
Welcome to Milton Keynes. We are finally here now. In terms of train services today, oh, that was bad. The worst I've done. Do not go on a train if it's off on the weekend. I think everyone had the same idea as me, where we're not going to go down Saturday, we're not going to go down Sunday, we're going to do this route. And 3 hours and 30 minutes of standing up on that first train to Birmingham. £110 return, and I stood up 3.5 hours on the way down there now. Of course, there's a lot of women there, a lot of children there, a lot of elderly people with disabilities, so fair enough, they get to sit down. That's a priority for anyone, of course, when you get yourself onto a train. But still though, I blame cross-country and I blame these train services for intentionally overbooking. I fully stand by that they overbook these trains. More people pay more money, and it can be a nightmare sometimes. There was a nightmare there, so I'm a bit annoyed about that part, but it is what it is. We're here now. And the first question we'll be asking is, Adam, why Milton Keynes? Now, the first thing I will say that we've got a top quality shopping mall. Make sure you get yourselves here at some point if you've ever got a chance to come to Milton Keynes for whatever reason, whether that be maybe Formula 1, football match, for example, like this, shopping centre just for Christmas time. This is the place to be. I'm going to do my Christmas shopping, potentially for the parents, have a little look around, see what I can find. If not, it's just more of a browse than anything. But just on the topic of kind of being down here in terms of doing my YouTube videos in Newcastle United and being full time and being in a situation where I've got the luxury of being able to have some free time and come down here, that's an issue I've had actually this year. I don't know what it's been, but I almost kind of woke up in some mornings, I've just felt a bit down. I felt a bit, I guess, bitter towards myself, because with doing YouTube on it is my dream job. I've kind of ticked off everything I want to do already in my lifetime. That's kind of the problem that I have. I'm 23 years old now, I'm still quite young, and I've got all this time during the week when Newcastle's not in European football, and I'm not that productive. I'm not doing much work, so a bit of an announcement for me. Nothing immediate. For me, it's not even 100% that I'm going into it, but I am looking at doing some media work during the week, so it'll be a case I'll be doing a job where it doesn't conflict with Newcastle United at all. So whether that be working from home, whether that be perhaps on a shorter scale where I'm only working weekdays, but it's a case where if I see someone that's available, I'm going to look into doing it, to be honest, because I don't know what it's been with YouTube over the past year, but I kind of like, I haven't stopped the breaks, but it's not an end goal anymore. So me in a personal level, me trying to, I guess, to do more things in my life, I've kind of reached that end goal already, so I haven't got anywhere to kind of stride towards. So I just want to make you guys aware about that, of course. Obviously, once we get to a stage like that, I'll let you know further information. But if you've got any recommendations, any suggestions, or anyone in a business point of view here that would like to contact me, you're more welcome to do so. I want to make use of my time, I want to be better, and I want to work, basically. So yeah, hopefully I've explained a little bit of that there. But for now, we're going to have a look around the shops. Speaking of free time, I've got plenty of free time. I'll look around the shops before I head back to the hotel room. So let's have a look around and let's see if I spot anything that I might potentially be looking to get. And this is where I shopped for my mum last year, 22nd of December. I rushed into Milton Keynes. Remember, I had Luton Town on the 23rd of December, so I was here for that reason. I came into Mr. Sims here. Essentially what it is, it's a retro chocolate sweet shop. So for anyone that, especially 40, 50, 60 now, you remember all these from your childhood. So I came here And we'll talk a bit more about the inside, but I did actually make a purchase for the mother. But let's head inside now and let's actually show you a little bit about it. Got some interesting choices up here. So we've got KFC, mac and cheese, that sounds mental. We've got Subway crisps at the top, I've never seen that before. The Pokemon puffs there I've had in Japan before. Went straight to the Pokemon store and bought some of them up. It's good to see them back here. Trying to find the bundle I bought here from my mum last year. Basically, I haven't seen it yet, so they mustn't have them out. But in here, as you look around, you've got all your retro chocolates, your sweets, whatever. Basically, I spent like 25 quid on like some of these. It was definitely not value for money, to be honest, but it's money your own person. It's the sort of thing I think my mum would like, to be honest. So I did come in here a bit last minute. I think it was for the Luton Town game. I think I must have bought this on the 22nd of December. So yeah, definitely last minute for myself, and I paid the price for it. But it's 100% worth coming in this sort of shop, though. Definitely will bring back memories. Oh wait, I can see at the top, it's literally that one there, the retro box. Yeah, I bought that exact box for last year. You get seasoners, but you get £5 to spend inside the shop, so you're basically paying £15 for it, so can't complain about that. I thought it was alright, actually, to be fair. I think it's probably a bit harsh to say it was completely overvalued. When you travel to as many Newcastle United games as I do, the Nintendo Switch will honestly become your best friend. I bloody love this thing. I took it to Japan, took it to Saudi Arabia, I took it to America. This thing will follow me wherever I go. The issue I've got with this is just how expensive the games are. I mean, look at that one there. How is the Mario game? Like 70 quid. Some of the classic ones all bundled together, but like that's mental for a Switch game. And the thing is, the same with all of them. Like LA Noir, like I remember playing it in the 360 back in like 2010. It's 25 quid. So that's probably my biggest issue with the Switch. All the games are just expensive no matter where you go, but you do get quality for what you buy, though. I'm tempted to get the new South Park game. I haven't heard the best of things about it, but £15 I think it's probably worth a gamble with it in terms of other stuff, though. I do like Mario Party. I mean, that game there is an absolute masterpiece. I've got a new one out, so I'll try and find it shortly. I might buy, depending on if there's any Black Friday sales next door. But yeah, again with these, just expensive what they are. Now I actually ended up buying my Nintendo 3DS from here last year. So basically, it's basically that there, but a smaller version of it. So I got it on Mount Keynes last year. I got no issues with it. Works perfectly. But for me, though, I can't lie, I do like playing my video games. I play a lot of the Nintendo, and I've got the newest Xbox as well. So I've been playing Call of Duty 6, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually a good Call of Duty. So yeah, I haven't streamed in a while actually, but I used to stream quite a bit on Twitch. That's the sort of thing you guys are interested in. But yeah, Nintendo Wii, the Switch, the 3DS, I am a big Nintendo fan. And I've also got the Xbox and the PlayStation as well. So yeah, I don't mess around with it. And that there was the first console I started off with. Went on the PlayStation 2 in the early 2000s, but basically I had a PS1 when the PS2 was out, so that's what I actually started with. Yeah, all of this here at the bottom, this is all way before my time, but that there I'll always have a sweet spot for. I have a burning question for you guys. Have you done your Christmas shopping yet? Now I still can't believe it's like December this weekend. It just came out of nowhere and I haven't done any shopping at all. In terms of me, I normally just shop for the parents, that's about it. Dad's easy, likes his beer, likes his football, likes Newcastle United. So the problem with that being is that it's kind of so straightforward. I kind of overthink it almost, because you know, you want to get something different, but that's just what he likes, that's how he is. As for the mother, I mean, mum likes a lot, so yeah, it's probably harder to find things that she doesn't like, to be honest. So again, like, she's quite easy to shop for. But the problem is, I'll show you guys how all the time you go shopping, you want to find that perfect gift, and you don't stop until you find it, and sometimes you don't find it. So yeah, you just gotta stick with your guns. But I'm intrigued to see what ideas you guys have, any special ideas of mine, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not probably the best shopper in the world. I'm someone that is kind of straightforward. I don't over look into something, I kind of just get something and stick with it. So I'm intrigued to see what you guys have got your parents for this Christmas. As for food, Ned's Noodle Bar, that's my go-to place at the Milton Keynes shopping centre. So I'll show you why in just a moment. As for Black Friday, I'm going to be honest, the Black Friday sales, well, at least in person, are crap. Here is my meal deal, I guess you can call it, from Ned's Noodle Bar. First impressions when you look at it, and I know you guys watching this video, you're probably going to look at that straight away and go, that looks like the most boring choice ever. But that's just the truth of healthy food. Like if you've got to basically eat that, or eat, you know, chicken without the skin on it, you got to just eat that until it stops getting boring. Basically, you want to be healthy. Physical exercise, of course, helps, but diet's a key issue, and diet's probably the thing that I don't tend to listen to the most. As for this, very spicy sauce according to the bottle, so we're going to try this in camera. I'm an expert, I like to say, on spices. I can handle quite strong spices as well, so if this is very spicy, it's going to push me to my limits. So let's see how spicy is the sauce and will it go well with this chicken. The very spicy sauce at Ned's Noodle Bar. Let's have it. I don't think there's much spice in that, but it actually tastes quite nice as well. There's not enough kick in that for me to be very spicy. I think it's mild, maybe spicy, but I don't even think it's spicy, to be honest. I think there's very little kick in that. But flavor's nice. I'm definitely having that with the food. So let's tuck in and let's finish up. It's that time as always to check out the hotel room. An easy hotel. You would have seen it a million times already on the channel, but these rooms are small, there's not much to them, and that's exactly how I like them. I've had this room a few times, always seem to have a bit of the infrastructure on the inside here. But what I like about these beds straight away, got all the ports down there, the switch will be there, my 2 phones will be there when I'm charging them up. Nice and easy. Window view, I've seen it a million times already, I've seen it. There's not much to see out there in the dark, but I have seen it all before. I've been here so many times now. But it's just basic, it's cheap, it just sorts me out for a couple of days, that's all I want. Now, funny enough, I think I've stayed in this exact room before. I remember I know the layout's similar-ish in basically all the rooms, but I do remember this exact layout. I actually think I've stayed in this exact room before. That's how many times I've been here. But yeah, we're back again. Nothing I need to say. The room's fine. I can tell you straight away it's fine. There's nothing that jumps out to me. The room's that small. You haven't got much to clean up. There's not much the cleaner needs to do. So yeah, unless I spot something bad, we'll point it out. But otherwise, I've got no issues. In terms of what games we're playing this week, I've got Stray on the Nintendo Switch, so just about to load it up now. Basically, for those of you who've never seen this before, so this got released for the PlayStation back in 2022. Got nominated for Game of the Year. Then came out on Xbox last year. It's finally been ported to the Switch now. It is a 10 out of 10 game, guys. I've seen it before. Wow, it's good. I'm not going to spoil the story. It's just a few hours long, but trust me, this is an absolute masterpiece. We're going to crack on with it now. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. Quite a chill game. And I'm going to go to bed and get ready for the Crystal Palace game always. So hopefully it'll be a good sign of things to come. Good morning. Heading over to the train now from Milton Keynes down to Euston. And then from there, it's probably a tube stop, then maybe half an hour train, or probably make a 1 hour tube to get to Selhurst. Again, it's just a nightmare right at the south end of London. It's not great getting to. But one thing I will say about the weather here, I know you can probably hear the wind in the background, but you compare the temperature back to Newcastle, I always think it's mental in the UK how one place can just be so much hotter compared to another place. Down here, like, you can honestly kind of walk around during the day, and yes, okay, you get a little cold, but you can do it. I tried walking around in Newcastle last week. It's so cold. I just couldn't even do it. It's horrible, the weather back home at the minute. To being down here, like, I'm a bit jealous almost, because the weather here is like it's just sound. It's sound most of the year. So yeah, I don't know why I'm banging on about that. Actually, we're gonna get on the train now, head to London. But yeah, it always not impresses me, but it's just weird in the UK how it can be just so much warmer down south compared to Newcastle. Then again, no, I'm just rambling on. But yeah, I thought I'd make that point anyway. On my way back to the hotel now. We're just going straight home tomorrow. I don't want to stick around any longer after watching that Crystal Palace match. So by the time you guys will be watching this, it's got to be the Brentford one. So it's going to be 2 overnight stay vlogs in one. I haven't got the strength to upload this as a separate single video because the performance was just that bad. 2 combined shots on target against West Ham and Palace. I mean, if that was Steve Bruce Newcastle, that would be bad. Never mind the PIF. Newcastle's back from Eddie Howe with all. I mean, you would expect on paper to be class, if not some world-class players. And I haven't got much to say, to be honest. So, yeah, moving on to the next game now. Hopefully, the Brentford game is going to be better than that because we're going to need it. Here we are, 1 week later, in the same situation where I am travelling down to London this weekend as Newcastle United has an away match. I'm glad to say this time will be nowhere near as bad as last week because the trains are on the King's Cross, meaning that we actually are going to get down the King's Cross and hopefully we'll be able to sit down on the way there and the way back. For the first time ever in all my years of travelling with Newcastle United, had to stand up the entire 4 hours down to Milton Keynes and the 4 hours back home. Oh, it was horrible. £115 train return to stand up. How crazy is that? Now today the trains are cheaper, so my return £90 to London. I'm going to assume the amount of services that are on this weekend, yes, it's going to be busy as it's around Christmas time, but still we'll be able to sit down. I'm confident to say that. Now there's a lot of things are going to this weekend actually because, well, Brentford away was actually the only competitive game in Newcastle United in the last 5 years I've actually missed going to in person because I've had to see what was quite a serious medical emergency on the day. So originally I was going to go to Brentford away and fly to Australia on the exact same day. Basically, I passed out just outside the tube station down at Heathrow Airport, checked his bag in. Then I went off to Brentford afterwards, watched the game, never got to the game. Passed out and I started to puke quite a lot of blood when I woke up, so I go straight into hospital now. The reason why I've just taught you that, because I'm assuming that a lot of you are going to be aware about it already. Despite all of these months later, I've never been paid back from the airline. They've never paid me back for my medical accident now. I know it's not their fault. It's not their fault I've collapsed. It's not their fault I've had an accident outside of the flight. However, I've got travel insurance. I'm insured with the flight. When I bought the flight tickets with the airline, I have insurance with it. In their terms and conditions, it quite literally states that under a medical emergency, you are entitled to a refund. I've had a medical emergency. I've got my discharge form from the hospital in London. I've got my incident sheet at the scene. I had an NHS staff member actually fill out an entire sheet, which was then obviously taken into hospital, which I would show just to explain what's happened. On top of that, GP, of course, got everything confirmed with them. I went through the insurance company. I've done everything legally, and they've still said no. So yeah, without going into much more detail, because obviously this is still something that's ongoing, basically we're going to have to take that further. So why I've just taught you that anyways, because obviously that's happening kind of outside of YouTube, and that's of course took a lot of my time up. It's frustration, it's stressful, it's something that is going to affect, I guess, my overall production on YouTube. So apologies for that. I wanted to make you aware of that. Obviously once everything's concluded and once we get to a final situation, it'll probably be interesting enough to make a video on, but for now, obviously it's still ongoing, so please do bear with me. Apologies for kind of stating all that there, but I wanted to make you aware just because I haven't been that active on YouTube. Not to mention this December as well, which is kind of I wouldn't say my down period, because I still go all the Newcastle games, I still upload all the videos, but my birthday is, well, on Monday, so my birthday's on Monday, Christmas Day is the same month. I'll be shopping for my parents, of course, so it's one of them ones where it's kind of my down period, I suppose. So yeah, I've got a few days to myself this year, but yeah, birthday's on Monday. I'm going to enjoy that, hopefully enjoying what's going to be a good result for Newcastle. The point against Palace last week, I'll say not the worst result ever. It still was bad, wasn't it? Let's not lie about it. So if we beat Brentford, I think 5 points out of those 3 games this week is okay. I don't think it's that bad. So hopefully we'll get the job done against them. Let's head in the train now. Let's hope this time we're not going to have any issues. It's going to be a smooth experience for London.
If you're leaving us here, please make sure you take all your personal belongings with you.
Finally here in London, and it's fair to say, a bit of an unfair comparison comparing linear across country, but you've got the choice out of the two. You most definitely pick linear. We actually had a seat that time, it was sound. First hour or so was quite busy, but after York it was just going down to London, so no issues for me. Getting the tube now, about a 40-minute tube, and then either a 20-minute bus or like walk for half an hour to get to the hotel, so a bit of a trek. We're going to get there in a bit though. So far so good compared to last week. Most definitely a better week for us. London Heathrow, Travel Lodge, Heston, I think it was M4. It's just somewhere in the middle of nowhere. The reason why I'm staying here is because it's a lot easier for me after the Brentford game. I'll come straight back here. Heathrow is far, especially from King's Cross. It is quite far to get to, but it's close to Brentford. You'd be surprised how close Brentford actually is to the airport. It's legit about 20-30 minutes in a tube or so. So getting back here after the game, it'll be fine. And there's something about these service station hotels. I reckon this could be an interesting one, so I thought we'll check it out. Prices were cheap. London Heathrow Airport hotels tend to be cheap this time of the year because not that many people that are going to be kind of staying around the airport area. So we're going to head inside now. We're going to check in. We're going to see how experience is. I just have to say again, I don't think this overall experience can be as bad as last week. So surely, unless this room is a disaster, I think we're going to be okay here. So let's head inside now. Let's check the place out. Just checked into the hotel now, and my room is just down this what is quite a scary looking corridor. Of course the lights will pop on once we get a bit closer. Basically reception was fine, got checked in straight away. A lot of cars parked outside, so there must be a lot of people staying here. I don't know why I'm whispering for, it's still like 9:30 at night, but I kind of don't want to wake anyone up. So I'm 144 today, so just on the left here. Now this is a first for me at a Travel Lodge actually, so they've actually gave us a real key. Not used to seeing that. Okay, let's get this open. Let's quickly get the bag in. First impressions though, as we take the key out the door. Doesn't look half bad actually, smells alright. Now, I've got a bit of a technical difficulty with this key here. There we go. This isn't the best of starts. Lock doesn't work. I mean, that is practically off the wall. I mean, that is not looking great, is it? So, yeah, we should be alright, hopefully, but I'm not convinced by that. I've stayed much worse, though. You see me in America, that was, I mean, off the hinge. That was scarily close to being easily kicked down. I mean, everything seems alright for now. Hello there. Nice mirror. TV there, not the biggest I've seen. I'm not going to use it. Apologies for the voice. I'm not going to use it. As for the window view here, it's the first time I've stayed on the ground floor actually. And it's just kind of like nothing out there. Again, it's a service station, so there's not much nearby. Obviously, we'll be keeping them windows closed throughout the night. Chair down there looks nice. Now, you went to Travelodge Hotel before, you always kind of get a bit of a gamble with these sort of chairs, because either be a nice chair like that or it's a plastic crap. You sit down, it is just cheap. It's not nice at all. I've stayed in plenty of Travelodges in London. That is a luxury in London. As for the bed, we sit down short. It looks all right in the first glance. Again, it's just what you expect from a Travelodge. Just nothing that majorly stands out to me in a negative way. So I will have to say I think everything so far is all right. And as for the bathroom, hello again. Nice mirror there. How is my shower looking? Shower head looks fine. Bath down there. Not the cleanest, but I'm not going to take a bath. It will be a shower here, so I haven't got any issues with that. Room seems fine. In terms of prices now, I think I paid $60 a night. I booked the hotel last night, so I basically booked it like less than 48 hours before I got down here. Prices for London, that's cheap. That is cheap for London, trust me. That is probably the cheapest I've actually had in London. Says a lot about the area, but £60 a night, 2 nights. Obviously, I get my videos done. I'll be able to get my run done in the morning. It's less stress on me. Again, compared to last week, this is like a million times better. So for me, I've got no issues so far, but I'll let you know if anything does happen during the night. Sausage and bacon sandwich breakfast. We are off to do a 10k run, so yeah, weather's horrible today. The Merseyside derby has already been called up, of course, in Liverpool. As for London, not that bad here, but yeah, it's still not great weather, so I'm hoping at Battersea, that's what we're going to do today. I'm hoping it's nicer down there. I'm hoping for the game it'll be okay. This is not looking that nice. Been walking for 10 minutes, look at the state of me. Had a realisation, got towards the bus, literally just turned back around there. We're not doing this one day, the weather's horrible, too windy, too rainy. I've got a yearly pass with this company anyway, so yeah, we'll take this one on the chin. I don't want to be ill for my birthday, so we're going back around and we're going to be doing a lot of gym sessions during the week, I guess as a punishment. But yeah, weather today, no, we're not doing this one.
Anticipation's killing me. Look at that. Listen. That was a goal scored back in the day. I love it.
Just got back to the hotel and my night's got even worse than what things have already been. So last week was a disaster for the transport. This week you can just hear how much of a disaster it is with the wind, and I've made, I mean, not a fatal mistake. It's going to take me half an hour walk to the hotel, but basically I've got back to Heston Travelodge. I'm westbound. My hotel is the other side. So basically, I can either get an Uber, which is 20 quid. So I can either pay 20 quid or just waste out my money because it's got to go all the way back up the motorway and then come back down. Or take half an hour walk, which normally I don't mind. But the fact is, it's windy, it's cold, I feel ill, I feel annoyed, obviously, from the game. Oh, no, I kind of... Yeah, I probably should have figured out the fact that my hotel was called Eastbound for a reason, but I didn't think there was 2 Travelodges with the exact same name, but one's west and one's east. I've never heard that before, but yeah, half an hour walk back at like midnight now. I'm carrying the bags. I can't show you what I've got because there are some Christmas presents here for the parents, but yeah, I'll walk back to the hotel now. I'm just sick of my life at this point. I do this so you don't have to. We go to these games so you don't have to at the minute. That's how just irritating these away matches are. It's like, it's not even like enjoyable going to the games, to be honest. It feels like almost like a chore the last few weeks going to these away matches. Like, Obviously, I always go to the games, I always support Newcastle United, I'm always black and white through and through. But truthfully, like, you go to football matches because you enjoy it, and it just hasn't been that way, has it? It's not enjoyable. I actually delayed this overnight stay vlog a week because I came out of the Palace game. Obviously, I've done my overnight stay vlog for, and I'm thinking, well, you guys, I don't want you guys to be depressed. I don't want you guys to kind of come on this video and just not enjoy yourselves, because, you know, I'm going to be covering an overnight stay vlog for a match that was crap and a match for Newcastle were crapping. So I went, you know, I delayed it next week for Brentford. You know, we're going to be positive by them. And it's even worse. It's even worse than it was for Palace. And I'm walking out of this game now going, well, I either put this video together or we just don't do it. And I need to make sure I'm looking at one over here. But yeah, back on topic though. I'm walking half an hour, right, at midnight in the back horse middle of, you're talking West London. We're basically next to Heathrow Airport. I'm surprised I don't see any planes in the background. I'm walking by myself at midnight. My birthday's in 24 hours time. I'm stuck here in London. I paid hundreds of pounds to come down here. And then Newcastle United just dropped what was the worst defensive display I've seen in years. And it's probably the first time I went on social media and I've actively seen, like, the majority of Newcastle fans now looking for a new manager or looking to get Eddie Howe out. Now, it's a tricky dilemma because I look at it now. My most obvious point I've got to say towards this Eddie Howe situation that we'll talk about in this video is, who do we replace Eddie Howe? Let's say we sack Eddie Howe tomorrow. Who actually comes in? And that's the first major problem that I believe Newcastle United has. And that's why I'm actually leaning towards Eddie Howe deserving more time, Eddie Howe getting more time. Not almost because he deserves it, but because we need him. There's nobody to bring in. Unless Man City fancies giving us Guardiola, which is not going to happen. I can't see Newcastle one actively on social media. The only manager I've seen that's actually showed legitimate interest in Newcastle is Jose Mourinho, who still has an active contract in the Turkish league. And of course, Newcastle still have Eddie Howe at the minute. Not to mention we'd have to pay money to get rid of Eddie Howe, which you've seen on this PSR FFP rubbish. That's not even going to help Newcastle. Can we even afford to get rid of Eddie Howe because of this PSR nonsense? So it's tricky for that. I'm currently, again, just walking through. I don't even know where I am. All I know is that we've got to walk for 30 more minutes and then we've got to the Stewart Eastbound Hotel. Again, that was my mistake. I've been out all day. I didn't realise there were two travel lodges basically next to each other, but I've got to go around the entire motorway to get this stupid travel lodge. I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood, guys. You know what I'm going to say here. I'm not in the mood. But let's get you some daylight now so I can show you what's going on. I've always got to watch it in London as well, because you never know with these bikers. Some of them obviously might potentially, I know not in that situation there, but some people might potentially look to sticky things as well. So yeah, if that would have been the icing on the cake, my phone just went there. But yeah, I'll come back in a minute. We are about 20 minutes now from getting back to the hotel. We're currently walking down some random street, but at least we're finally actually somewhere where civilization is taking place compared to the back alleys and God knows where before. It's the two hotels are practically touching each other. I mean, it's literal roads separating the two hotels, and yet it's a half an hour walk or a 20-minute taxi ride. You have to go down the entire motorway just to get to this hotel. Oh, I mean, this is the pits. This is the absolute pits of supporting this football team. How the hell 1 year ago am I in France, in Germany, not taking in the sun because it was still cold back then, but just taking in the feeling of a real ambitious football club that is ready to take on anything. And in that exact same team, a year later, with the same manager, the same ownership, are just so deflated and just so out of it. And we are, potentially in a legitimate battle just to stay in the top half of the league. I mean, we may actually be a bottom half club this season, not even a European contention. Just finishing in the top 10 might not be attainable because we just aren't picking up points. And it doesn't matter if Newcastle play good, Newcastle play bad in matches. Results matter, and Newcastle just haven't got the results. They've won 2 of the last 11 games, and again, I just state the obvious when I'm doing these overnight stay vlogs, when I'm going to these away matches. it's been a chore. It's been a chore. Like the positive I got coming out of this vlog and coming out of these 2 away matches over the past week is that we don't play again away until 2 weeks later. So I know next weekend I'm not going anywhere. I don't have to travel down the entire length of the country just to watch Newcastle put in what is just a half-arsed, below par performance. So yeah, I say positive. 2 weeks. 2 weeks is Ipswich. Ipswich is next. And guess what team hasn't won at home this season? Oh, and guess what their next home fixture is? It's Newcastle. We just know where it's going to go, don't we? But yeah, if we lose that one, then coming out of that vlog, I'm probably going to have different words towards the way the club's been. But yeah, you know what it is. I hope you guys have got some entertainment out of this. The point of the video was to entertain and to, I suppose, for you guys to enjoy my misery and just how crap the week's been. Hotel today was actually alright. The hotel was sound. If I went to the correct one, I went to the wrong one. But yeah, the actual hotel room was fine. Last week was a nightmare, Palace of Transport. This week's been a nightmare with the match and the fact that I've somehow got to the wrong hotel. I've got to walk 3 miles to get to the other one. So yeah, it's just been a disaster. The wind's a nightmare. It's cold. It's crap. And we'll finish off this video, I guess, with a strong message. Obviously, we can banter on football matches, we can be upset, we can be angry, we can be happy. We have all sorts of emotions with football matches. But of course, I feel like the Mikel Antonio situation has massively put a perspective on football. Be happy that your family and friends are well, and just know that whatever you're going through is not as bad as someone else. I mean, Antonio's a lucky man to be alive. I'm glad to hear the positive news from West Ham. Have you seen the state of the car accident without going into too much detail about it? Yeah, he's lucky. He is very lucky to be alive. Obviously, in terms of his career and what's next for him, you just got to put your hand up and just go, you know what, I'm alive, and that's the most important part. If that's the last games I ever played for West Ham, then again, I think if you had the choice, would you rather be alive or would you rather obviously be retired and not be a player again? He's obviously going to pick being alive. So yeah, horrible to see. So I wish him the best for that.